Welcome back, he, she's, theys, and castaways to another episode of Lord Licorice's Luxurious Lounge. Today, I am joined with one of the minions of production, Robert.
I am Robert. I'm on Challenge Advisory and on Codes and Ciphers. And I'm also the #1 best spectator, above Sean.
Those are some fighting words. Alright, well, it's week 5, and we left off with the Temple Run challenge, and here are the results. As a reminder, the castaways were simply playing Temple Run for this challenge and trying to get the greatest distance possible, so their tribe could have the highest average distance. We saw a lot of high scores for this one, but Cream Crushers really crushed Soup this time around with a lot of high scores, plus the advantage they won, which allowed them to drop the lowest score on their tribe. Cream Crushers finally got a tribal council break, and Soup had their first tribal council, which was well deserved because Soup needed a tribal council.
So true.
Tribal 7, Josh's tribal. Josh's tribal did end up being Josh coded. Now, for those of you who don't know Josh, he was voted off early in Werewolf/Murder in the Dark just because he's silly. He likes to do a bit for everything relating to games like these, so he got voted off very, very fast. He also literally admitted to being the easy target. My minion will put a picture here. Thank you, minion. Anyways, the next challenge was Prisoner's Dilemma. No one pushed the button. All they had to do was push a goddamn button, and none of them pushed the button.
And it was interesting because as the challenge went on, we tried to make it easier for them to do it. We first said that only half the tribe needed to agree in order for it to be pressed, and then we said that only 2 people in their one-on-one could agree to press it. And then they you wouldn't know who pressed the button. Like, you could just do it anonymously if you could just find someone else who agreed with you. I did see, there were a couple people in one-on-ones like, hey, want to push the button? Like, I think I saw Olivia say that. Did Kavi do?
Kavi said that to Aurora, I believe, and Aurora was very anti-pushing the button. If Kavi had said that to Alex, we might have had a button push.
Oh, Alex wanted button.
Alex wanted button. For context, Prisoner's Dilemma is this, philosophical, test thing to see if people are, locked in a room, if they would push a button and betray the people around them. Basically, the tribes were split into 2. So there was Soup A, Soup B, Crushers A, Crushers B, and they could only talk to the people in those small groups, except for Soup, who had licorice ropes, where they could communicate a 25-character message to somebody else from their tribe. A lot of people on Team Soup B used it to communicate, and there was a lot of drama about people not responding. No one took literally till the end to respond to his. It was a lot of what's going on with Soup. There was a lot of conspiracy between the castaways. They all thought the other person was lying to them. Very dramatic, ate it up, but no one pushed the button. I wanted Charlotte to push the button so bad because Charlotte started going crazy and was legitimately debating pushing it, but then Kylie convinced her not to. Both the Cream Crushers and Soup went to tribal council, and because of that we lost both Kavi and Drew. And they technically happened at the same time, but Kavi's was the one in order that went first. So Soup went crazy for this tribal. There was some weird misunderstanding with Kylie where people thought she didn't want to make alliances, but she did. So a bunch of people were we're not gonna add her to alliance chats just because she doesn't want to do that. And then she found out about it and got upset because she's why would you not clue me in on what's going on? So that's been since resolved, but there was a lot of drama with that.
It was supposed to be Jack. A lot of people wanted Jack. And then I believe Kylie's vote kind of decided it. And there was a kind of misunderstanding where Kylie just wanted to get a vote in quickly and voted Kavi, and then Kavi got out. And I think some people, I know Aurora was definitely impacted by Kavi being voted out.
So unfortunately, Kavi was voted out, and her last words were "Ellos despertan la bestia," which means fear the beast, I believe is what that translates to. I might be wrong. And then Drew's tribal was significantly more straightforward.
People just voted Drew.
They just voted Drew. There were thoughts about people voting out Jasper, but Drew ended up being... Drew got out though. But on to more exciting news. Verge.
Merch.
Merch! We love merch. None of them expected it. That's not true.
Lindsay did.
Lindsay did. A lot of them didn't expect it. Noah was super confused because he thought bag toss was happening before, or catch the bag was happening before, and we said, we are not doing things in order just because that's the way they've been done. We are original here. They anticipated it was going to happen soon because of spring break, but I think most of them assumed it would happen this week, but it happened
On Saturday.
on Saturday. Yeah, it happened during the challenge. So now we have 13 castaways out of the original 22. They all merged right before the in-person challenge. This means there are no more host twists, so no more of my disadvantages, which were beautiful and glorious, and everyone should be forced to listen to Judas on repeat. And friendship policy is now in place. So what this means is that for any challenge where there is an even number of castaways, they will be working in pairs to complete the challenge.
With a friend.
So like, for example, if there were 12 castaways left, me and Robert could be friends.
We could be friends.
We could be friends.
We're not, but we could be.
We could be. I hate Robert. I am not a Robert stan. I'm lying, I love Robert. Robert's one of my husbands. Anyways, sculpture making. After the castaways found out about Merge, they were immediately tasked to make sculptures for a festival for Princess Frostine. So they were tasked with making sculptures of either a host, production member, or some kind of just sculpture relating to the theme of the season out of candy. There were 3 versions of moi. One was like made with like cracker chocolate, and so it was like cracker Lord Licorice. Alex made one of me sitting on my phone. Kylie made one of me standing up. Alex's was so funny. Kylie's was so like aggressively similar to like the original design of Lord Licorice. There were so many good ones.
People went crazy.
People truly went crazy. But you know what was the craziest thing about that? How the castaways acted when it came to tearing apart little Lord Licorice's body. They all swarmed the trash can and immediately started tearing me apart. It made me feel very unsafe. Please send help.
Wait, which Lord Licorice? Alex's?
It was Kylie's.
Oh.
They said, pull apart, throw in the trash. It was scary. I was afraid. We should send them back to the prisoner dilemma. I think they deserve that.
Yeah, nobody made me.
Nobody did make you. The only person who was made on production was Eliana. Yeah, it was Eliana.
Cool.
Everyone else was either hosts. There were a couple gloppies. There was 3 of me. There was 1 of Nora, and that one won because Moose made it, and Moose is so artistic. They made a giant skirt out of Dum Dum wrappers. It was like specifically the blue ones. And so their reward for this challenge, because this was a reward challenge, was they got to pick their friend for the first friendship pair, which is both an advantage and a disadvantage. It's an advantage because they get to pick. It's a disadvantage because then everyone gets to know who their true ally is. The current challenge right now is talent show. Yay! We love having talented castaways. Castaways have to videotape themselves, make a picture, do some kind of media to represent one of their talents. So right now we have a couple of like people singing. I know that Noah was talking about like trying to get a video of like all previous castaways from like last season or something. He was going off on random tangents, but people are going hard for this challenge, as they should. And you know what else went hard the other day? The second idol.
Kylie found it. So we dropped it, right? We dropped all the clues in Tree Mail. I think some of them were in Tree Mail. One of them was like a host's bio. But we dropped all the clues, right? Nobody found them. We're like, oh, okay, this might take a while. We might have to let it simmer for like a week. Then Kylie notices one of the chains. Do you remember which one she got first?
It was the bison one, which was...
Oh yeah, it was Mia. Our hope was that people would get that one pretty early.
Because that was in her bio, right?
No, Mia in her
Or in her
confessional questions, she always starts it with an emoji. And for the last one, after her questions ended, she put an exclamation mark emoji and a bison emoji next to it. And that was kind of supposed to just fit in with like the way she uses emojis regularly. But if you look at it, you see exclamation point, then a bison. You're like, oh my god. You just have to type that in, and that's the first clue in her chain. So Kylie found that, which we were hoping that people would see that one. We were like, why was nobody finding this? And then she proceeded to find all of the other clues, and then the actual location of the idol, which I thought was pretty difficult, but it was really impressive to see that. She now has the other idol, and it doesn't seem like anybody knows or is going to know. I mean, people don't know that there has been a second
The
idol
only
yet.
person who knows is Noah, because her and Noah are making a fake idol to trip up the other castaways, which is insane, and I don't know if it's ever been done before.
Oh, and it's like really cute.
It's really cute. It looks so similar to the one that she
Yeah, it looks like
has.
it could be real.
Yeah, it looks like it could be real. Hey Kylie, if you ever watch this, join production team so you can do more things like that.
Join arts and graphics.
Please join arts and graphics. So she's the only person who like noticed the clue chain and then she obviously found it.
Still though, noticing the clue chain and finding it are two very different things.
Yeah.
Charlotte didn't like get far at all initially, and then she like went and proceeded to find it, which was really cool and very impressive. But this is like completely different.
This
She
is
just
completely
bulldozed
different.
it.
Yeah, it was insane. I went to bed with her like finding the first clue, and then I woke up and she just had the idol. I was like, what happened in between those times? So the second idol has been found, and now a third fake idol is being dropped by the castaways themselves. So stay tuned. Pour yourself a drink and lounge with me, Lord Licorice.